So my name is Ben Wolf, and I went to Mexico with Matt and Taylor Clark.
My name is Matt Clark, and I am the champion for the Penasco partnership at Life Center Church. Puerto Penasco is in the state of Sonora. It's about an hour south of the border of Arizona. And the community, it's about 60,000 people right on the Sea of Cortez. It's a resort town really for Phoenix, kind of the playground for the Phoenix area, but it has a real extreme poverty, and with the economic downturn in the U.S., Penasco has really felt that, so the tourism's really down, and they estimate that unemployment is about 40 to 50%, and so it's there's a lot of extreme poverty, but a great opportunity to be able to build a relationship with people there in the city of Penasco. I led a team in November. There were 13 of us, and we flew. It's a great opportunity to be able to get down to Penasco same day. We flew down to Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix, and then rented vans, and we drove into Penasco. It's a little different than the rest of Mexico. I think there's quite the perception that all of Mexico is very unsafe, but Penasco is a little unique to that. Not that there isn't issues, but definitely overall a safe place. I think one of the surprises for me in Penasco was just the extremes that were there. We drove along the railroad tracks where there were a lot of extreme poverty, people that just had built shacks and were just piecing together shelters, and then in the background you could see the high-rise condos and all the real nice resorts there along the water. And so that was one of the things I think that surprised me and was quite a contrast, and pretty unsettling as well.
One night there was a huge rainstorm, and I think they got about 3 inches of rain, and some of the locals were telling us that they usually get about 2 inches annually, so they got 3 inches in one night. And we woke up going to church, and there were streets that you knew there was a street there, but it was covered with water. So
well, I think my favorite service opportunity that we did in Penasco was when we went out to a park on the east edge of the city in an area called Invasion, a poor area. We were right there on the border of where there was no running water or electricity, and there was a park, and it was just all dirt, but the city had went out and built some playground equipment for the kids, and so we went out there and we served, I think, over 300 hot dogs to families, and we played games with them, painted faces, and it just was a really fun opportunity for us to be able to build a relationship and really love on people there in Penasco. Well, Penasco Christian Fellowship is a bilingual church, and it was started about 12 years ago with a real heart to mix both the Americans that have retired there in Puerto Penasco, as well as the Mexicans that live there. Well, the Two Fish ministry that came out of the Penasco Christian Fellowship started when Stan Tedrow, the pastor of Penasco Christian Fellowship, was up on the hill. He was praying for the city, and he felt like God told him to feed the poor. And so that Sunday he did a message on feeding of the 5,000. And he said he invited anyone that wanted to come back that afternoon that wanted to feed poor people. They've been going for 3 years, and they've served over 250,000 meals. It's quite an amazing opportunity to really put some food and serve to some people that otherwise may not get a meal that day.
As an outsider, you feel like an outsider when you're there. I mean, you're in the middle of a ton of people that look nothing like you, but it stops the minute you start talking to somebody. I mean, once you engage in a conversation, they treat you as an equal. They are so engaged in what you have to say, and they are so interested in your perspective on things. It really makes you feel like you've been accepted. You don't ever get the feeling that they don't have the time for you, which is something you don't really get in the States. I mean, if they're in the middle of something and you want to talk to them, and they'll talk to you, and they don't care where they are. They don't care what time it is. They don't care about anything except you. And you know, if it's anywhere near a meal, they're going to invite you to have a meal with them too, so they can talk more. So it was just that was surprising, just to the level of just acceptance and love that you felt. It was awesome.